Hi everyone, I'm Bart Smykla from VMware, and this is our bi-weekly Kubernetes k8s-infra working group meeting. At the beginning, I want to remind everyone about our code of conduct, which we can summary as be excellent to each other. And is there maybe anyone new who would like to introduce himself, herself? Okay, so let's go further. And if there is any topic which you would like to discuss at today's meeting, because at this point we have only one, please add it to agenda still. You can also add your name as an attendee at our document. And let's jump through our action items from the last meeting. So we did the billing review the last time, so we won't be doing it again today. Linus, can you give us a few words about Image Promoter?
Yeah, so I am working with Tim to try to launch the Auditor Cloud Run service, but I realized that I should try to not write more bash. So actually, it would be great if I don't know who here knows Terraform, probably other than Christoph. But
I know I can help you.
Yeah. So, for example, I have right now a service account I can make, which would have 0 permissions, and then we're trying to minimize the number of permissions that we're trying to enable for the testing of this service. So just to give a little background, in the end goal is to try to have a production service that runs in Cloud Run. Mm-hmm. But we already have a testing mechanism for it that should run in a test account. And it's in that test account where currently the tests are failing because the test account doesn't really have all of the permissions that it needs to carry out the test. So the test actually needs more permissions than the prod account would, because for tests, it needs to start the Cloud Run service, but not only that, it also greps logs, deletes logs for each test invocation, things like that, which we would never do in production. So I actually have a PR open, which Tim reviewed last week, but he was of the opinion that I should not try to give it owner access to the test project. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I need to whittle that down. But ultimately, I think there needs to be a deployment script or something like that, probably with Terraform, to actually deploy the actual production instance of the Cloud Run service. Mm-hmm. So I don't know Terraform, but since you do, maybe you can help me.
I know that there's multiple people and also here who knows Terraform and are able and want to help. So definitely what we should do is to create some, I think, GitHub issue with the discussion about it. And I'm sure that there will be a lot of help from the community. But if you will have some direct questions, for example, if you will be working and you need to immediate answer or something, just you can ping me or the others and I will try to help.
Okay.
Is there Could you repeat,
I can help you with that. I do a lot of Terraform at work, so if you want.
Okay, great.
Is there other topic which we will be able to help you to move forward or something?
Right now, so I don't think there's anything open that can be addressed by the community right now. So I am currently undergoing a exercise and trying to sort out I guess the best way to phrase it, because it's an internal issue that we're having, is the security implications of opening up the promoter or GA. That's something that obviously the community can't help with because it's an internal thing. But other than that, it's mainly running or deploying the promoter auditing service that I just addressed. That should be the last thing. But yeah, so just to summarize that, it's two parts. One is figuring out the permissions necessary. Secondly, like, who deploys it, when, how, like, I don't know those rules yet. So that needs to be probably written down somewhere. Like, I can't just ask you or Tim to just run I guess I could, for the very first instance, run the Terraform script or something to start the service, but yeah, that needs to be more like formalized. So that actually gets into the earlier, like the last meeting's topic, which was around groups and having an admin team around this service. Mm-hmm. Maybe Tim can help me with that or something. Yeah.
The answer to every sorry I'm late. The answer to every question of who should be able to do this, the answer should be a group, like period, full stop, right? We've got a bunch of conventions now within the groups file. It's getting large. We may at some point want to break it up into multiple files, but as it is, it's actually not that bad. So you should just be able to go and add a group, put yourself in it, and then we figure out what permissions we need. We assign the group those permissions. And if the permission set ever expands, that's fine, because we know that it's for this group, right?
Yeah. And
there's at least in theory some continuity if you decide to drop off the planet.
I agree with that, and I think that today's discussion mostly will be related with this Terraform refactoring of the scripts, because I don't see any other topic. So I'm looking into the other topics from the last meeting, but actually this is the only one. So I don't know, what do you think, how we should split it and how we should start actual rewriting? This is the first thing. The second thing, which I will try to start the conversation about, is the interns from the GOC. And but my only idea for the interns would be to help with the Terraform itself. But to do that, we need to split and to create some job tasks with Terraform. What do you think about it?
Sure. I don't know enough Terraform to say how to break that down, though. This is where I fall down.
Okay, so because we still don't have some person. Do you guys like folks who are here? Is there anyone who feel like he is an expert in Terraform and could kind of own and lead us as the good practices, etc.?
Wasn't there a PR that started on this? I thought there was. Maybe I'm misremembering. Let me look.
There should be. But I'm sorry, Bart, did you mention like GSOC, or is it like the Summer of Code?
Yeah.
When does that start?
Summer.
But
I actually don't exactly know, but I know that today I said that I will give some information if we need some interns, if you want some interns, and if we will have the work for them.
Right. So the general timeline from Google Summer of Code is basically until February the 2nd, the application deadline for the mentoring organization. So that's all done from CNCF, I think. And then the first thing that basically is interesting is the student discussions start February 20th. And then the actual application for students starts March the 16th. And then application deadline for students is 31st of March. And then it goes until, I think, August or something.
I'm afraid that it can be too late. And I feel like we would already have all rewritten during that time.
So the work begins May 18th and ends beginning of August.
Yeah, I don't know if the Terraform will be a great spot for that then.
So do you have any ideas? Maybe other topics?
Monitoring?
Sorry, we're sure that we are getting interns for this? Or?
No, that's the discussion. If we want, if we need,
Then we should make a proposal.
we'll be able to provide the work for them.
And just to be clear, they're not interns. They are paid Summer of Code students, but they're not.
So sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just a nuance because internally we have a separate intern program, so they're not our intern program.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so there is an idea about the monitoring, but I don't feel confident enough to be kind of leader of this topic. So we definitely will have to have someone who would be kind of leader, mentor.
Yeah, we need to, I think for a GSOC student, the general notion is one mentor is good, two is better, and that would be something that we need to like provide from the general working group. But I feel like that was the only thing that came to mind personally was monitoring, because that's a big enough scope while also being breakable into small enough pieces so that we have the ability to make progress, even so, like to adjust accordingly to the student, adjust accordingly to our timeline, and adjust accordingly how far along we are in general. But that just on you.
So do we have like a PR or issue tracker for this? Like having ideas that are student friendly for the summer?
So I think the short answer is no. And my feeling, having done interns and Summer of Code, is if we don't have a really good project that we're really confident in, we shouldn't do it. Because otherwise the students will have a terrible time, right? It won't be useful for them. And it'll just be a drain on whoever has to lead it, to find things to keep them busy. And like, that's a really crappy situation. So me personally, I would rather not do it if we're not really confident that we've got some really cool project to work on.
And I feel like I'm close to the also conclusion to not doing it. We are not ready to, don't have anything like interesting enough. So
it's not a judgment. It's not a bad thing. It's just, the nature of the work that we're doing.
Okay. I would like to add actually that I will be getting an intern internally. They will be starting on April 1st all the way till September or something. And they'll be working mostly on the promoter stuff. Stuff related to that. I would think infra related around that, probably around moving, for example, some of the Prow stuff that we have to our own like Prow instance or something. Yeah, I just want to
I will try to discuss with other people who are not here yet, like Dims and Tim Pepper, maybe and others. But I think that it's not good enough to ask for these interns, these people to help. So going back a little bit to the topic of Terraform, because I'm a little bit afraid that I don't know where I should start, how to start dividing it into smaller things. So if others here are able to help with that, I would be...
There is a PR.
Yeah, I see this one.
It's a little skeletal, but it's there.
Yeah, I've sent it in the chat, the PR.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's not the same one.
That's not the same one? Which one? Yeah, no, it's number 523.
Oh, 516.
No, sorry, this is referencing number 516. It's very confusing.
Oh.
516 was, I think, the bug report, or the issue that I filed. 523 is the PR number.
Okay, so actually, I think that I will ask you all, I will create an issue for that topic, and I think that it will be better to move to like an async discussion about it at this point.
Yeah, I don't know, is this person who wrote 523 Sergio, are you here? Okay. Let's get like either a Slack thread or something going where we can talk about sort of how we want to model it. And the people who know Terraform best can sort of weigh in on what the best practice is for that sort of a pattern, or why that's the wrong answer, or whatever. Or email, Slack or email, it's fine.
Yeah, I will try to like prioritize it a little bit at this point. But this is the last topic which I have on agenda for today. So we are just jumping to some just free discussion, open discussion.
So I'll say we have a bunch of open PRs. I haven't actually opened the PR list for k8s.io in a hot minute. There's a bunch open. I'm going to run, if we have free time now, I'll run through them and approve these sort of obvious ones. There's a couple of staging ones. And then I would love to just take the time to go back through these PRs. Some of these are going to be easy, some of them are not.
Okay, so do you want to share a screen with us?
Oh, you want to do it as a group? Sure. Yeah, okay. Actually, I'm not on Zoom. Sorry?
I guess you have to join.
Yeah, I'll have to join. Like, give me a second.
Oh.
Of course, and Gmail decides right now I have to relog in. 4-page password.
That's impressive.
Impressive if I got it right once. I mistype my password more often than I get it right. And then today.
Okay, I'm gonna mute.
I started using a long time ago 1Password and the YubiKeys for everything. So now I have no idea what most of my passwords are.
I sympathize with that. Oh, we're mute.
Well,
That's fine. Anybody hear me? Yep. You have to mute both the in and the out.
Okay, cool.
All right. Let me make sure there's nothing on my screen that I don't want people to see. How do I share? Share a screen. Let me quick check. Okay. How's this?
It looks good.
All right. So I pulled up the PRs and I just clicked all the ones I thought would be relatively easy. And started with NPD, which is Node Problem Detector. Actually, let me get rid of you guys because I need the space. And Node Problem Detector, actually, I just approved. Actually, I LGTM'd it, but I'm apparently not in owners here, but I can still do this. So there's a bunch that I think are just staging, so we can approve them all and then run it one time. CapZ, what's CapZ?
Cluster API provider Azure, I think.
Oh, Z for Azure, okay. Because A would be ambiguous, okay. So this is an interesting question procedurally. I have no idea if this is correct. Does anybody know any of these people? I guess.
I don't, unfortunately.
Cecile is adding herself to approvers. It matches the CapZ repo. Let's look at that. It does match. The question is, do not merge invalid owners file. Ooh, cool. I didn't know that was a label that we have. Users mentioned owners, but not members of the org. Awesome. Hey, look at that. Our automation did something awesome. So I would like an approval from somebody on this list. Oh, did Justin approve it already? Justin, Stephen.
Yes.
I saw he did. Okay, so if Stephen approved it, then I'm good with it. But and it's already chairman approved. Cool. Test E to E images. This is for you or somebody. I don't know who's reviewing images. Are we?
Yeah, basically those images were being built by the image promoter. We got merged in the Kubernetes test images. I'll have to update the digest for 2.10 to include some changes Linus made to the image, I think yesterday. But after that, it's mergeable.
Okay. And who's assigned? Are the right people assigned?
I have no idea.
Okay, so you're going to re-update it and. Oops.
I guess who's the owners? Or
Yeah, is there an owner file in that directory?
Actually, since you are on this pull request, I have a minor issue / comment. Is there a way to retrigger a post-submit job?
Post-submit job?
Yeah. Basically, the image promoter is a post-submit job. Basically, the PR merges, and then it will rebuild the images and publish them, right?
there is a way, but I am not in that like admin group that who administers the PROW like clusters.
Are you saying that the post-submit job did fail, or you expect it to fail, or is there?
It failed. Basically, I made a change to the Pro job itself, mounting one extra volume basically, which I had someone mount some certificates as a Kubernetes secret, but he said that he didn't find it. So that basically failed.
I think you have to ping the PROW folks to work that. I have no context on it though.
Yeah, basically, you see here the job that failed. I have pasted in the chat. So it might be useful to have some sort of command or something to retrigger the image promoter or something.
Well, I mean, in general, those jobs are not supposed to fail, or they're supposed to like self-retry, right? I'm not sure if it's generally safe to have users manually run it. I can't guarantee that every post job is going to be idempotent.
I don't think it retries itself. I kind of doubt that it does, considering that it only ran once since yesterday.
Is that our post submit? That's the promoter?
Yeah, I mean, so after stuff gets merged into this directory, promoter runs.
Does the promoter run periodically anyway?
Yes.
Yeah, basically this is the test grid. I pasted it in the chat.
But actually, I was going to address this at some point. I should have addressed it earlier, but this, if you look at the k8s-GCR-IO directory, it should only have, it should have two directories, images and manifests. And the PR that you link to is for the k8s staging E2E test images, which has the manifest directory outside of the parent manifest directory. Like if you just look at k8s-GCR-IO, there's 3 directories there. One of them is named after your project, or I should say our project, because I'm part owner. But that should be under manifests. That guy.
And that's merged.
Is that supposed to be the pro job manifest file?
So that file is the promoter's manifest that has the metadata for which registries to promote from. and 2. The prod job stuff is inside the test info repo, not this Git repo.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that's basically just busted.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why this shouldn't work. I remember seeing this before. I was gonna ask somebody if this was on purpose. I thought this was here because like we didn't want it to run like just yet or something.
I don't think so.
But yeah, that should be.
But this one hasn't been split into 2 parts either, right?
Ooh, actually, yeah, that's also right.
So this
I
must
guess
this must have been a PR that was in the queue.
It must have been like in flight or something while we did the migration to the like the thin manifest format. Yeah, so the images should be.
There should be
not
2
there.
files here.
Yeah, well, this shouldn't be here.
Right.
And renames don't work either.
Right. So this is an old style
Yeah.
file, and there isn't, going back,
In the PR that
there
was
isn't
linked, there was staging.
staging. So there's no E2E anywhere in here. So it's not like it's a duplicate that just doesn't exist.
Oh, was it just trying to change this file? Okay, maybe that's why. Yeah. Well, I can take that
Yes.
on after this call.
Yeah. So, I mean, the right thing to do, well, you can do it in this same PR, would be to move that file.
Just like use the other like repos as an example, like I don't know, k8s staging,
Yeah.
API snoop, or
Does that make sense? Sorry, Linus and I are talking to each other, but we both have all the context. Do you have enough context to make the change?
Oh, you mean me? I should move that file.
Well, this PR can't apply with the file in the place that it is. So either we can, like I can ask Linus to do it, like it'll take a hot second for him to split that file into 2 and put them in the right subdirectories. And then you have to totally rebase this PR, or you could just do it in this PR.
I can do it. Just leave me a comment about it so I won't forget. Because
I'm going to sign you.
It's a bit late here.
Yeah, apologies. Upload. There you go. I'm going to take myself off and I'll put Linus on.
I will also look and check if it happened. If not, I will ping people.
So this is something to be aware of as we look at new staging repos to make sure that they follow the new convention. Maybe there's a doc out there that's got the old convention listed somewhere.
Yeah. Well, the README for the promoter needs to be updated. Just off the top of my head.
There you go.
Well, technically, it's not completely. Yeah. So it currently supports 2 formats. One is actually the old format. It's still kind of supported if you have it all in one file, but it will only read just that one file. It won't read recursively like in a directory.
Okay.
If you are doing it in a directory fashion, which is what we're doing currently in k8s.io, then yes, it has to be split up into 2.
Okay. All right, moving on with PRs. I think I tagged, people who are already assigned to this in the SIG cluster lifecycle. I just want an approval from them. So when was that? 2 days ago? Add BigQuery auditing, enable compute and other changes. This is a big one. I want to look at this, but yes. So I noticed a different problem, which was that I sent this PR a while back and nobody wanted to touch it because it's 568 files, which is understandable, but it's going to cause a rebase problem. Any objections if I self-merge it? Nobody wants to look at the audit data because it's really not useful. Most of this is file deletes and massive changes.
It's fine for me.
Actually, the changes are not that bad. All right, I'm just going to do that so I can get it in, and then we can iterate. It's not being run in an automated way anyway yet. And I was looking at this just the other day as we were adding projects for conformance. So I thought, oh, I should rerun the audit. And then I realized this hasn't merged yet. Okay. Let that fly. We'll come back to this later. Whoops. Get out of there. How do I hide this? I don't want that. There we go. Oh! All right. Add node feature discovery to k8s. I'd like to add host images for node feature discovery. Stream project node feature discovery. NFD. Okay. Was assigned to Bart. Let's look at it. No worries. No judgment on people who don't get around to their PRs.
I just don't.
I'm the poster child for that. So they're adding a group. NFD. I'm not in love with NFD. Does anyone know anything about this project, NFD?
No. But this will be my action item to go back to that and to ping these people.
Okay. Sure. I mean, we have precedent for three-letter acronyms. NFD is not a well-known one.
No, definitely not.
But otherwise, it looks okay, right? We got the images.yaml. We've got the manifest.yaml. We got an owners file. We have, it's added to the staging storage. So this seems okay other than the name. I will comment and I will hand it back to you, Bart. Do not merge invalid owners file. Again, cool. Where is that? Only users mentioned owners file, but are not part of the community's org.
It's interesting. I completely don't remember this one.
It is interesting because it puts in a requirement that people be part of the org, which isn't hard, but isn't free in order to be able to push. But is that okay? 6 node feature discovery. I mean, okay, I'll comment here. All right, also has conflicts. Because of course. All right. CP staging bucket. Staging cryo. This doesn't add the manifests. go away, pop down. GCR manifests. Yeah, it doesn't add that. So do we have a feeling, should we require people to add the template manifests at the same time? It seems like the right thing to do.
I agree.
Do not merge a hold. Why is it hold? Is this conformance? This conformance is actually created now, but it's not clear whether this wants to be conformance or staging. It says staging, right? Yeah, it says staging. So for anybody who's paying attention, for projects that need to upload conformance data, you can change staging to conform. And we now have a convention where I can give you a GCS bucket that that group can write to upload the conformance data. All right, an audit script merged.
The conformance data buckets are the ones that are sort of production, right? That will hold
Yes.
data for the 10 years, right? Just to
Correct.
get the context, right?
And they have the retention policy, but they also have a defined format and an XML file and some other stuff. Okay, so NPD got added. Let's go back to PRs. Does anybody have a PR who's here who wants us to look at it since we're doing it live? Other than Linus and his docs.
Sorry.
Just you're at the top of the list. So.
Just one minor question update regarding the promote k/k test images.
Yeah.
Can we update to just promote Agnost image 2.9 for now, and later on promote the 2.10 one that Linus approved an update for, so we can get this in?
So the
so 2.9 isn't up there yet, I guess.
Yeah, 2.9 is not yet published, but it is planned to also promote that as well.
Is this Claudio?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can't, this PR can't merge as it is, right? We need to move that file first.
Yeah, of course, but afterwards.
Sure, you can do those either as two separate PRs, two separate commits, or even in the same commit, I guess. But as soon as you've done that move and split, let me know or let Linus know and we'll approve it.
Okay, good.
And make sure there's an owner's file in the manifest directory. Basically, look at all the other directories and follow that because they all now have owner's files, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the so publishing bot. That's going to take a little more time than we have. GCB state, we did that one. Okay, so we actually got through all the easy PRs. The rest are going to need actually a little bit of care and feeding.
So we have still like 15 minutes. Maybe there is some other topic which someone wants to start and proceed with.
I just wanted to bring up, it's not a PR, it's an issue 504. It's the move k8s-io from old Google only cluster to AAA. And Ben mentioned that he can get to the internal one, but he oddly enough can't get to the AAA cluster. So it looks like that issue is sort of stuck on people being able to do it.
Okay, hold on, let me look. He should be able to add himself to, let's just double check. Groups. This is the theory. Everything should be in a group. Let's see if it's actually there.
Thanks.
That's a problem I can fix. Cool. Yes, this is high on my list of things I'd love to see done, getting that old cluster turned off. So appreciate the ping on that. It's been a crazy January. Let's look at the other issues real quick then. In the first few minutes when I wasn't here, did we circle back on the DNS stuff, or does anybody care about what happened on that? I sent some updates to the Slack channel, but I can repeat here if anybody cares.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting.
So the last time we talked, we had discovered that we were serving an incredible amount of DNS queries. And when I asked the DNS team to dig into those logs, two things came out. One, the logs don't go back far enough to tell us what that huge spike actually was, so we will probably never know. And two, the way we had set up our canary DNS was recursive, which led to us delegating canary.k8s.io to another zone, and then delegating canary.canary.k8s.io to another zone, which didn't exist. And because it didn't exist, we triggered some weirdness in the DNS server that didn't treat that as an error, but didn't treat it as a success either. And so the clients would end up retrying over and over and over again, and which is causing some huge amplification of the side effect of apparently people are probing at our DNS because of the bug bounty and other reasons, trying to find obvious attackable hosts. So people were probing at it. They found canary.canary existed, and so they were desperately trying to find something that they could attack. And every probe would amplify out by several dozen retries. So we were causing ourselves a lot of the pain. So we fixed that, and we no longer delegate the canary.canary, which if you look at the graph on DNS, we can do that right now, actually. Oops, no, wrong. Let's change those dates. Let's just say January. January 1, 2. So you can see that the big spike at the beginning of January is completely and totally gone now. So that's the update on the DNS, and it's sort of an unsatisfying resolution, but there it is.
Yeah, but at least we see that our efforts are helping to find that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes. You can see in the month of January, it was again about 1.5 billion queries, which is kind of awesome and kind of awful at the same time. But February looks like it'll be much more reasonable. All right, any other issues we want to take a look at? Should we just scan through these real quick? Oh yeah. k8s.io, Velodrome. Okay, these are all not new, which is good. We don't have a ton of new ones. Okay, so if Ben gets access to AAA, then he can help expedite these transfers from the old cluster to the new, and that'll be good. I foresee that groups start groups. Yes. Yep, I expect that this will be the case. Look, I even said that myself. How about that? At least easier. Yep. Cool. Okay. So nothing to do there then. So this ran. I guess I'll actuate this NPD one when I get back to my desk and somebody wants to really watch me do it.
Okay, I think that there is no need to trying very hard to find some issues because of.
Yep, we give people some time back.
Yeah, is there any other topic we want to start? We have still 9 minutes for the first time. The second. Okay, so thank you all for being here and see you in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye all.
Bye.
See ya.